It is 3:31, so we'll call the November 30th FARGODOME Authority meeting to order. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, so welcome back. Before we get to item number 1, are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
I'm just going to have something quick under my report.
Okay. Aside from that, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved. Second, Mr. Chair.
First by Mike, second by Dave. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Then we'll move on to number 1, approval of the October 26 minutes. We'll entertain a motion there.
So moved.
First by Nancy,
Second.
second by Mike. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Any old business to bring before the authority? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to number 3, new business.
All right.
Rob.
Thank you. Jackie, if I could have you join me up here. So I think most of you know her, but for those of you who don't, this is Jackie Johnson, our Human Resource Manager. She is one of 4 people who have been at the building full-time, excuse me, since we opened, November of 1992, I believe it was.
Yes.
And so she has deservedly earned her retirement. So after 29 years, she's retiring effective Thursday. She's going to spend December helping us out with payroll if needed, but very appreciative to Jackie for all of her efforts. As I said, one who's been here full-time all the years that the building's been open. Bernie and myself have been here almost since we opened, but we were part-time for a little while. But I started off getting yelled at by Jackie and helping her out in her office as the lunchtime replacement receptionist, getting told what to do by her, and roles kind of flipped over the years. So I just wanted to take this time to thank you and offer you this.
I've been very fortunate to work at this place for this long. I just love it. Love the people, love everything about it.
That's awesome.
Thanks for all your
Thank you.
Thank
you.
I didn't tell her about it until
No.
a minute ago. I knew what she would have told me about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The HR people are the last ones to know, Jackie.
Thank you for
Thanks.
humoring me there.
Yep.
Moving on then, the financials are on page 4. As always, the month is on the left-hand side of the page. The year-to-date is on the right-hand side of the page. For the month of October, we had 8 events with attendance of 66,000 compared to a budget of 10 events and 84,500. Total event income of just over 271,700 compared to a budget of 440,000. And then we had expenses in the amount of just shy of 370,000 compared to a budget of 372,500. So we did have a net surplus for the month of October. I know we haven't said that much in the last 18 months, of 54,300. However, that was about $163,000 less than the budget at 217,500. The main factor with that is we did run the final remaining concert, the 8th budgeted concert for 2021, through in October. So that was one of the largest, the lion's share of the deficit of 121. NDSU, we had 3 football games, as we discussed for the last, since we started operating again, 10 months. Our post-clean event expense is quite higher, 30+% per game. And then attendance was down some, still great numbers, but obviously for our revenue streams, lower attendance affects all of our ancillary revenue streams, so slightly below budget for 2 of the games. One of the games was homecoming, best attendance all year. It was really great to see a nearly full building back with people screaming their heads off against Northern Iowa. On the other income comments, the net advertising revenue was slightly higher than budget, about $13,000. It had been longer than anticipated, but we finally came to closure with the Pepsi agreement. That was the one that about a year ago now, the authority approved working with Bison Sports Properties on. So there was a significant increase in the annual amount, but there was a lot more paperwork and jargon. Lawyers, attorneys had a field day, I think. So, but that finally payment came through, so that's just recognizing the extra accrued for 10 months on that. And on the expense side, labor was slightly below budget with really no full-time overtime. General administrative was higher than budget, mainly due with the liability insurance. If you recall, as we have to kind of accrue for more events because the base number of the insurance policy was based on the amount of 2020 people and events, so we knew that it's going to be higher with a bill back. Then operations was higher. Higher utilities through the rate increase. Had some glass panel repair on one of our wheelchair accessible areas. But then we also, the building's old, so we had some control systems in our meeting rooms that control the sound and the video go out, and they needed repair, and we discovered we didn't have a replacement, but the rooms don't stop happening just because we don't have the equipment, so we had to purchase a backup. So we had that in case it goes through. Any questions on the month of October? Year to date then, again, we've had just over 250,500 people attend the 46 events we've had. Obviously that's down quite a bit from our normal budget of 78 events, 412,000 in attendance. We've had just over 1.3 million in total event income, which compares negatively obviously with the 2,600,000 budgeted. The bright spot again, budgeted expenses at 3.7 million, but we've only had about 3.5, so we're about 205,000 below budget on expenses. Then obviously with the SVOG funding, that comes in on the other income side, so we do still have a net surplus of just over 2.5 million compared to a budget of 300,000. So because of that, it's a favorable look, and it's to make up on all that. Just a quick note, won't really go over all the year-to-date information other than to note that we do still have, I believe it's 375,000 you can see there of the SVOG grant to come through. That'll come through in November, just matching up dates to when it went into accounts. So that'll flow through. And then the rest you can see there, the explanation on the indirect expenses with labor and GA and ops all kind of being below budget. The contract, food and beverage contract, higher than budget basically because of the NDSU spring football games.
Okay.
Questions on the financials?
Thank you. Rick or Mike, do you guys want to, either one of you want to make a motion on the financials?
I will make a motion, being
Okay.
Rick is on the phone, so I would make a motion to accept the financials as stated.
Okay, thanks.
Second?
Second by Dave. All those in, yeah, is this roll call?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes,
Mike?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
thank you.
All right. Moving to page 14 then, since our last meeting, which was Tuesday, October 26th, talked a little bit about it here. That following weekend we had the NDSU versus Indiana State football game on Saturday the 30th. On Thursday and Friday, the 4th and 5th, we had the first of many high school football games, the Minnesota High School Football Section Finals. They had 4 games that day and then 5 games the next day for the 6A or Section 6 section finals. I can tell you that it was really, really cool to see those high school teams back in the building. Obviously, that didn't happen in 2020. I had a lot of patrons that I know come up while they're here, and it's like, why are you here? I just wanted to be able to come back to see high school football. It was just neat to do. So it was neat thing. Then more importantly, we actually had the Gate City Bank Theater went back into action on Tuesday the 9th with the Simon and Garfunkel story. Somewhat sparsely attended, good show from the people I spoke with. It had good time. Good to hear more music back in the Gate City Bank Theater. and then rolled right back out of that into Dakota Bowl, which is the North Dakota High School Football Championships. Had 4 great games. The evening capped off with West Fargo High versus West Fargo Cheyenne in the 11 2A championship. So had really good crowds for all that. On Saturday the 13th, the Gold Star Marching Band had their annual, other than last year, Sounds of the Gridiron event, the kind of wrap-up event there. Then the following Saturday, the NDSU hosted South Dakota and rightfully trumped them to get ready for a playoff bye, which they had last week, and coming up for there. And right now, we're back in this area right now because we have the North Dakota Ag Association Ag Show, another event that did not happen in 2020, in the building now for their first day of their Ag Show today. This is the one where pretty much every meeting room space we can get our hands on is rented out through the upstairs rooms, the conference room, most of the dressing rooms downstairs, the catering area are all rented out by seed and chemical companies to have client meetings, different things such as that. Any questions past events? All right, moving forward then, from today on, we'll finish the Ag Expo tomorrow afternoon. They'll load out, and tents and events will be switching over some pipe and drape, but then right away 5 a.m. Thursday morning, the Health Tech Trades and Career Expo, which is an effort between Fargo, West Fargo Public Schools, and a lot of regional schools. I believe it's for area freshmen to come through in conjunction with the Home Builders Association to kind of give them an idea of all the different health career, tech careers, trade careers that are available at all the colleges and all the businesses in the area for them to try to start thinking what they want. And as soon as that gets over at 2 o'clock, another quick conversion to get all the draping and tables down, vendors out, football turf out so that it's ready for practice for Friday the 3rd. And NDSU will host Southern Illinois in the second round of the playoffs at 2:30 on Saturday, the 4th. Moving from there, when NDSU wins that game on Saturday, they'll host the winner of the East Tennessee State versus Kennesaw State the following Friday or Saturday. We won't know the day or time of the game likely until either late Saturday night or sometime Saturday the 5th. Which brings us to the next meeting. As a reminder, that'll be at 4:30 on Wednesday, December 15th. We're just going to throw a bunch of different changes at you, see how you react. But so that'll be at 4:30 in the conference room, followed by the annual holiday social return in the meeting rooms at 5:30 that evening.
Okay.
Questions? Comments?
This might not be a fair question, but at this point, do you have a feeling if it'll be tough next year to fill our budgeted concerts or not? You know, this new variant doesn't derail us, but just knowing who's touring and
Well, my bull crap answer is there won't be a problem at all. It's on camera, so I couldn't say the real thing. But the honest answer is no. I don't anticipate that it will be difficult to fill the 8 concert budget. What's unknown at this point in time is the types and sizes of shows. If you look, obviously we have Toby Mac and Elton John already on sale.
Yeah.
I think we've announced, or getting ready to announce, Mercy Me. They announced it nationally, so we'll be having that in April. We might be having another 1 or 2 shows in April. Now, summer is a little challenging right now because we've got a 4-ish week shutdown for football turf replacement. So we're trying to juggle that, but there is a lot of interest in the summer and fall as well. So
Nice.
do I think it's going to be a challenge? Yeah, it always is. Fargo, it's a 250-person market, so it's not a must-play on a tour that's going to play 40 dates throughout the United States, but it's been a very successful region. Fargo and its market size is so big that other cities around us say they're in the Fargo market and not a different market that they actually are in. But that's how we work it. So yeah,
Okay.
honestly, the other challenge is could we do more? Potentially. However, I am still extremely skittish about the labor challenges we've had, and the ability to have enough bodies and enough staff to do a concert one night, which I have no problem with. Given the size of show, I don't think there's any issue with the labor market right now to be able to do one show from beginning to end. So the 500, 600 people it takes to do that, from the 6 a.m. start of the load-in, getting it all set up, getting all the parking, getting all the security, getting all the front of house, getting all the food and beverage, doing the event, cleaning after the event. The challenge comes in cleaning after the event and trying to flip the building over to a different set, and then doing it all again at 8 o'clock the next day. That's where we have yet. I don't know if we've had an NDSU football call for cleaning the building. I don't know if we've had it filled more than 30%. Of, ask for 80, get 20 to show up, get 25 to show up. Even the high school football games on the 4th and 5th of November, the Thursday night, 32, 35 call, 10 showed up. They were here. The temp staff stayed till 4:30. The part-time FARGODOME staff stayed till 6:30 in the morning. We were opening doors at 9 o'clock that morning for games at 10, and there were still a couple people still emptying bags. It's just there is a huge staffing challenge in this market, particularly with temp labor, day labor, which a lot of companies are using to fulfill their shortages right now. So
Okay.
that's going to be one of the challenges. Now, give us a day in between, not a problem. I think we can get it done. So we could do a Friday show and a Sunday show. Unfortunately, it seems the agents and some artist management don't feel that there is a labor shortage, nor was there a pandemic. It's just back to 2019, and why can't you do exactly what you did back then?
So is this a pay deal?
I don't think so. We like I said, we've raised pretty much all of our starting wages at least 25 to 30%. Some higher, some for the harder to fill positions higher. We've raised what we're paying the temp labor companies higher. So I guess honest answer to that, in my opinion, yes, it's a wage deal, but it's not one we're going to win, because there are companies that have more resources to just pay more, and we lose that bidding war. Plus, our labor needs, most of our labor needs are 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
And you're not getting collegiates.
Not getting collegiates. We've got food and beverage with our volunteer groups. They're even struggling. Some of them they're very honest. They said, "Look, we've fundraised for 18 months now because we didn't have a season last year. So we got so much money, we don't need to fundraise anymore."
Okay.
Now they're very loyal and they work when they can, but so we've got feelers out. Actually, the CVB helped us. They were sending letters to a lot of their youth hockey, youth volleyball, JO volleyball groups about the volunteer opportunities here. I was talking in a other conversation with the athletic director at Moorhead State. I mentioned we already have a lot of their groups. I mentioned the different opportunities. He's like, "Send me that information. I'll send it to all of our coaches to try to get more people to do it." Actually, at our Metro Tournament Committee with all the local high school activities directors, same thing. They're talking. So we're just trying to find more groups and more opportunities.
I believe that. What about the other not-for-profits that are saying?
We have some, like we've got like the Barnesville Knights of Columbus. We have some
Okay.
church groups.
Okay.
We have that again. Some of them just and they pick and choose, which that's totally understandable. I mean,
Well, that's why they're.
we've got several volunteer groups that don't only work here. They work here. They work at the Lights out of West Fargo. They work at the Shack. They work at Shields Arena. So there's a lot of opportunity, but Fargodome opened in 1992. We were the only game in town in December. Starting in 2000, there have been so many different entertainment options, particularly in the last 5 years opening in the market, that there's just everybody's pulling from everywhere to try to get the people to do the job. So it's I know Bernie's been working with his team. Susan and Sarah and Casey have been working with their teams. It's just trying to figure out ways. One of our missions is still to operate profitably. We'll be changing the definition of profitability to continue to do that.
Yeah, I hear you.
But again, it's everybody's struggling with as we talked before and had comments. You go to a fast food restaurant's dining room's closed, go through the drive-through. We can't close our dining room. The dining room, we don't have a drive-through. Our business is dining room. So we have to keep it open and do what we can. Sorry,
Okay.
long preachy answer to a quick question.
All right. I was
Did you have
going for
anything,
it.
Dan? or- You good?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
If there's no other questions about upcoming or past events, that would conclude my report.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to 3B and committee reports.
Yeah, and being Rick is on the phone, I'll try to handle it. I guess probably the biggest main topic, high level, is the insurance renewal premiums and situation. Initially, it looks like the property insurance premiums would go up about 10%, just under 220,000. The flood coverage would actually decrease from 25 million to 10 million. Did you have something?
Got an update today from Ben Armbrust that
Much better news, yeah.
they have
Okay.
they have used their skills, and it sounds
hammer?
like Zurich has agreed to go back to the 25 million limit
Okay.
and drop the deductible still higher than the 100, but drop it to 500,000 versus a
500,000.
million.
Okay.
So then Susan has done research with FEMA on what we need to have, what we're required to have for 25 years, which this will be the 22nd year since the flood.
Okay.
So put that into perspective of maybe why I'm a little on edge. But so it's probably round numbers 9 million in coverage, but the caveat is the equipment and that damage has to be
Yeah.
at replacement cost.
Yeah.
So it's not 25 million, but it's probably at least 15-ish, just to say as a round number. But so I think we're covered there.
Yep.
So my guess, he didn't put anything in there about the premium news, so I'm guessing that means that the premium's going to kind of hang where it's at or close to it, but they're still.
Cost reduction and liability, he said in an earlier email.
Okay, so yeah, they're still working through all that. So
Okay.
we'll have
Well,
more information at the December 15th meeting.
All right, so that covers the majority on the insurance. We've already talked about the financials. The project and capital updates was pretty light. The turf surface replacement was approved by the city at the last meeting. And then the fire alarm replacement is ongoing. Still a couple of months left there. Those are really the only two project updates. The escrow balance, the performance through September. Unfortunately, the last few months we've kind of given back, but through September is only 0.12%, so at least still on the positive. I'm not sure what the last few months will show, or the last.
October had a slight climb.
Yeah.
I think it's been nearing, it's like
Yeah.
49.2
Yeah.
or 49.8.
49.
Yeah.
49 and change. Round that up to 55.
So with that really concludes what we had talked about. Did I miss anything, Rick?
I don't think so.
All right, so with that, I would make a recommendation to approve the committee reports.
Okay, thanks, Mike. We'll do a roll call.
Nancy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes.
Mike?
Yep.
Dan?
Yes.
Okay. Any additional items? Another quick one.
Just a reminder again, so I can
5th
say
December
it.
15th.
Wednesday, December 15th,
4:30.
4:30. So if you show up
Yep.
on December
Be here.
14th,
You're sleeping over here.
somebody might be here. I don't know who, but
You're gonna come back the next day.
And is that a normal fairly normal agenda?
Actually,
it's
very
pretty
light because
very light.
financials
We don't
won't be
have
done.
financials, yeah.
You know, it'll really be just the
shorter than
insurance. The
Yeah.
insurance is going to be. I've tried to stretch Dave, so the insurance will be the highlight of that agenda at
Okay.
this time.
Okay, okay.
And if Barry doesn't show up, then we'll have a bunch of other
Yeah.
information for you.
Yeah.
Whoa, did you miss that?
Yeah,
You poked it.
yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been paying attention.
I poked the bear and you didn't crawl.
All right.
Okay, well, thanks for coming. We're adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.